And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Big B. We are breaking in right now because the National Weather Service has just issued a tornado warning for Lamar and Forest counties. Right now, we're watching a cell near Purvis, and this is moving off towards the north and east. So let's go ahead, and I'm about to read off everything on the screen right now. We're going to continue to update you on everything that is happening with this cell. So here is the latest information coming in from the National Weather Service with this cell. So currently at 1:53 Central Time, the severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Baxterville, or 12 miles north of Poplarville, and it is moving off towards the northeast at 45. So we're looking at this cell. Again, it is sitting right down here. It's sitting in this area here, and down the line is going to be Purvis, Oklahola, Oak Grove, and eventually Hattiesburg, Dixie, Camp Shelby, and Paulby Johnson State Park. So basically, this is coming down the line, the famous Hattiesburg line, as it moves off towards the north and east. Here's everybody under the warning right now. And as you can see, Baxterville, Purvis, Dixie, Hattiesburg, including the city of Petal and Lumberton, as this moves off towards the north and towards the east. So let's go ahead and put a path cast on this storm. And I'm going to go ahead and drag this off towards the north and east. So let me type in the 45 that I got to do on here. All right, it's already set. So basically, where we are looking at this area of rotation is down towards the south. So it looks like it's near, kind of on the Lamar the Lamar Pearl River County line, and moving off towards the north and east. So here's what it is looking like at the moment. I'm gonna step out of the way and give you an idea of what we're looking at. So this will be coming into areas around Purvis at 216, Rock Hill at 219, Oklahola at 222, and that includes areas out where Lewis Lights is. To give you an idea where Oklahola is, Lewis Lights, you're thinking of old Oklahola School Road, out towards Plant Morrow, the Cooperative Energy Power Plant to the south and west of Hattiesburg. Eventually, this will move into the west side of Hattiesburg at 230, the city proper itself at 234, Petal at 238, Edenville at 240, and New Augusta at 244. I think that's a little bit too far to the east. This is moving kind of to the north, but you get the idea. Basically, everybody minus New Augusta is in the path of this storm right now, and it is just radar indicated rotation at this time. So that's what we are looking at with this storm. But again, it's something, the rotation with this is credible enough that they need to go ahead and do it. I'm looking at Weather Service chat right now, and they said that the tornado warning is the possibility with this cell because it is beginning to intensify at the moment. Right now, there is a little bit of a structure, what we call in the meteorology field, a BWER. It's a bounded weak echo region, and it shows up on radar, and it's a precursor that the storm is beginning to rotate. So the rotation is not incredibly tight as the moment, but it is beginning its evolution. So what we would say that this supercell has left the infancy stage and it is now beginning to mature. So we're seeing a strengthening supercell in portions of southern Lamar County as this moves off towards the north and east. So areas that are along the path of this storm, you need to go ahead and be getting into your safe spot right now. And again, we're not seeing any signs of debris at the moment, but we are seeing that area of rotation, and you can see it pretty well down here towards Baxterville, and it's right there on the county line. And you can actually see where the Weather Service in New Orleans actually included a very tiny sliver of Pearl River County to match up with the Weather Service in Jackson's tornado warning with this storm. But basically, if you are in Purvis, if you're on the west side of Lumberton, if you're out towards Oklahola, this is going to be heading your way eventually as this continues to move off towards the east. So we're continuing to watch it, but they are anticipating that this storm will continue to strengthen over the next 15 to 20 minutes. And the way the atmosphere is evolving right now, the atmosphere is quickly destabilizing, and that's why we're starting to see not only the uptick of thunderstorms with this, but the uptick of severe weather. There was a severe thunderstorm warning for Lamar County. That still continues because there's another cell just to the north of this one, but it is beginning to weaken now, and it looks like this cell is becoming the primary the storm right now as this continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. But at this moment, basically, you got a few minutes in Purvis, Dixie. You got a lot of time if you're in Hattiesburg and Petal. And again, let me put a pathcast on this because there's a lot of time for you if you are in the Hattiesburg metro area. Take a look. Purvis, you got until 2:12, so you got actually 2:17. So you got about 17 minutes to get ready. You got time to go ahead and get that helmet ready to go out towards Oak Grove. 2:30, 2:35 for the city of Hattiesburg, 2:38 for Petal. And eventually, this will be heading just to the south of the TV station, but it did come up in our cone here, and that would be about 2:45. So this is moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. And again, the first place on the list will most likely be Tallowa and then out towards Purvis at around 2:17, Oklahola around 2:22. So again, when we're talking about Oklahola, we're talking about areas around Old Oklahola School Road. If you go out to Lewis Lights every year, that's where Oklahola is. So there's not really much to it other than the road sign that says Old Oklahola School Road, but there's also the power plant out there. Cooperative Energy's plant Morrow is out there, the natural gas burning plant, which provides power for our power grid here across the Hattiesburg area and through Lamar County. It funnels into Pearl River Valley's system as well. So this is the only warning that we have at the moment. I'm going to clear things off because I want to just give you a reset and show you what we are tracking as of right now. Right now we got a cluster of thunderstorms rolling into the city of Hattiesburg. That is not the part of the storm that we're worried about. So that part, you're fine. It's this very southernmost cell down here into portions of southern Lamar County out towards Baxterville and just to the west of Lumberton that I'm more concerned about at this moment as this continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. So we're continuing to monitor this right now, and of course we're going to stay with this until the storm weakens or the warning gets canceled or something like that. But of course we're not going away at all. And to kind of give you a wide shot of what we're tracking here this afternoon, we're seeing the quick destabilization of the atmosphere. Over the last 6 hours, we were in a lull, but we're starting to see this warm front lift up from the south, and this is where these thunderstorms are moving northward. So they're riding along that warm front right now, and that is the leading edge of air that is destabilized at this time. So what we're seeing is that the atmosphere is priming up. If you have like a lawnmower or a weed eater, you got that little bubble on the side. It's called the primer. We push it, you add air into the mixture, and it makes it where the engine can fire up if you're having problems with it. And that's basically what's happening here in the atmosphere. We are priming it up. So we're adding all the ingredients here. And you remember yesterday I was saying things were very conditional. And we were worried that we may not meet that condition, but it looks like the atmosphere is going to meet those conditions. And of course, now we have the tornado warning out for the city of Hattiesburg as this continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. Now, Riley Bridges, who is our newest meteorologist, who is officially going to debut on Saturday, is here right now. She's here with me. Riley, are you seeing anything new coming in on Weather Service chat on your side at the moment?
Right now, not at the moment. We don't see anything new as of right now, but I am noting that rotation is getting a tad bit tighter. Yeah, and we are noticing that. And Riley, of course, is a Pine. You don't know this, but Riley's a Pine Belt native. She is from Collins. She's basically lived here her whole life. She went to Mississippi State, so she is Mississippi born and bred. And right now, she's getting the old trial by fire right now. Again, you'll see her on air this weekend, and in fact, you'll see her on air here right now during this coverage as well. But right now, the big storm that we're watching is down towards Lumberton. I'm noticing Michael Clark has come in, and do you have anything new right now?
Checking the school districts.
Okay. So Michael is telling me they are working in a newsroom to see what's going on. We don't have anything new from him. But Michael, I am good on my end. So if you need anything, you just let me know and we'll toss it over to you as well. It looks like the Weather Service in Slidell is going to be canceling their part of this tornado warning. And again, it was only this little tiny sliver of Pearl River County. And the only reason they're canceling it is because it has moved out of Pearl River County and is now moving into Lamar County. So this is truly now a Lamar County issue at this time as things continue to move up towards the north and towards the east. Right now, the rotation, Riley said you were noticing the rotation is getting a little bit stronger, and I would agree. The rotation is definitely getting a little bit tighter. So I want to get in onto street level view right now with this storm. So let me go ahead and pull this up and turn on the highways and locations with this. So you can kind of see this is Highway 13. We're talking about areas around 4 Mile Road, Donald Hale Road. We're also talking about areas out towards Airport Road, 4 Mile Road, and Little Black Creek Road is where we're at. So again, we are down in southern Lamar County. To give you your bearings, let me move the computer cart out of the way. Here's the city of Lumberton. It's right here. So here is Lumberton. When you think of Lumberton, you think of the little quaint small area, of course, that down there where the high school is and the public works and the really bumpy railroad track when you're driving on Highway 13. You got to slow down when you drive over that. So that all of that is way over here. So downtown Lumberton yourself, this is off towards your west, but it's about 3 to 4 miles to the west. And this is going to be approaching areas out towards Seneca and out towards Taloa as well, as this eventually moves off towards the north and east. But again, I'm not seeing any signs just yet that there are anything new coming out with this system at the moment. But of course, Riley, you're really familiar with this area. So what other areas in southern Lamar County should people be looking out for? I know Lamar Christian's out there, correct?
Yeah, that was actually what I was checking on because I originally went to Lamar Christian School out in Purvis. And unfortunately, this is kind of getting close to them. And I know this is kind of the end or close to the end of the school day. So I know that they probably are already getting into their tornado safety plans and all that. And I know Purvis High School will probably need to as well from what I am looking at as well. So far right now, I'll kind of step out here a little bit so you can kind of see behind me. You can see this area of rotation that we're seeing near Donald Hill Road and 4 Mile Road. And that is still getting, unfortunately, it's gotten a little bit tighter within the past couple of minutes. Is what we've been noticing, unfortunately. If you are anywhere near the Purvis area, near Lumberton, near Seneca, please go ahead and take shelter immediately at this time. So far, Patrick, do you have anything from the National Weather Service that are saying if they're seeing a debris signature or anything?
Yeah, I'm looking at Weather Service chat right now, and right now, let's see, Carrie is coming over here. Right now I'm looking at Weather Service chat, and that right now they're still holding on that status quo of the storm is maturing. It's not at the status of truly tornadic just yet, but it is still improving, and we're watching everything move off towards the north and east. I did just get this from Carrie Leggett. So parents in Lamar County who are watching, because kids are stuck at school in Lamar County, they cannot get on the buses right now. So you need to just remember, if the kids are being held at the school, correct? That is correct, Carrie. So the kids are at these schools. They are following their tornado safety procedures, and so do not expect them to be bused out during this tornado warning. Once this passes, Lamar County schools will let them go. But as of right now, Lumberton, Baxterville, Purvis, and I would assume that Oak Grove as well, are not leaving the schools. So they are holding steady with that. And Carrie, I'm going to hand you back your phone at the moment. So we're continuing to walk through this tornado warning. And again, the first big city that's going to be down the line is going to be over here towards Purvis. But again, it's still a little bit of ways away. But the Weather Weather Service right now saying it's not imminent at this exact second, but it is still evolving, and the favorability for this to quickly become tornadic is still pretty high. So that's why they are continuing with the warning at the moment. And again, everything continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. And by the way, I want to give you an idea of just how far away this is from Purvis. So right now, as the crow flies, 10 miles. So we're about 10 miles away from Purvis, and this is moving northeast at 45. So what we can go ahead and do is put another path cast on this, and I'm gonna just take this to the city of Hattiesburg. So we're gonna get a few more places showing up. Tallowa at 217, Purvis at 222. So your time is quickly getting smaller because the storm is approaching you. So the city of Purvis, the Purvis Library, 222, Pine Ridge at 226, Oklahola close to 228. That'll be right about 230 for both Oklahola and for Poppy Johnson State Park. Camp Shelby at about 238, and the city of Hattiesburg itself, should this hold together, at around 240. So we're continuing to watch this line, or this one cell, move up towards the north and east this afternoon. And in fact, we got a new radar scan. So let me come over here, and I'm going to just update it right now. So there's where it is. So with the new update, we're still looking at Purvis at around 218, maybe a little bit closer to 225 now for Oklahola, and Hattiesburg at 2:35 p.m. And eventually, again, if this holds together, we could be talking about this moving into the city of Petal at around 240. So we're continuing to watch this one cell at the moment. It is the only cell, the only player out there at this moment, as everything continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. And in fact, I want to give everybody at home just an idea of what we are looking at this afternoon. So let me flip this over to the regular radar that you're used to seeing at home, and I'm going to turn off all the watches so it's a little bit easier to understand. So basically, we have a cluster of thunderstorms moving across Hattiesburg. There's a lot of heavy rain out towards West Hattiesburg, out towards Dixie, out towards Petal as well, but that is not the severe part of the thunderstorm. The severe part of it that is potentially tornadic is the very southern tip of it. So areas closer to Lumberton, I would say now between Lumberton and Purvis is where that storm is kind of tornadic at the moment, and it is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east. Notice there are also other storms down towards the south, but they are not severe at this time. We have some thunder here at the TV station, and you can hear it rumbling outside. So the sky is beginning to get a little bit angrier out there. And as we take a wider look, you can see more cells down in the parishes of Louisiana, out here towards the west of Macomb, closer towards Liberty, and then some more cells kind of beginning to form a little bit of a line out towards the Mississippi River and towards Natchez. So again, we are anticipating this severe weather threat to kind of continue throughout the rest of the afternoon hours, and most likely it'll continue through into this evening, but I think everything should be out of here closer to 8, 9 to 10 o'clock tonight. So I don't anticipate us having to stay up all night for this. Everything should be moving into Alabama by then, but right now it's just the only tornado warning that we're tracking out there at the moment. And Riley, what are you seeing on velocity mode right now with this storm?
Velocity, I'm kind of noticing that the rotation has gotten a little bit weaker than the last scan, thankfully. But, you know, even if, you know, there is not a tornado on the ground, we want you guys to stay safe because there are a lot of wind out there and very, very damaging wind gusts. So if you are anywhere near Norton Road, Niemeyer Road, Yon School Road, I'm kind of going to zoom in a little bit closer just so I can read it off. Tallowa Road, just, you know, go ahead and just move indoors and just stay in your tornado shelter as of the moment. Again, if you have a student in Lamar County School District, just know that they are holding them. They are protecting the kids as well from this thunderstorm. They will be going through their tornado safety plans right now at all the schools. So right now, Patrick, I think the tornado rotation has died down just a tad, but of course we still need to deal with the severe winds and, of course, the hail at the moment. But we still do have a rotation on velocity right now at the moment.
All righty, and thank you so much for that, Riley. And I just got this in. This is from our Delaney Dukes right now. She is saying that Forest County schools say that all the kids are in the storm shelters that they have on campus, and they are sheltering until the weather passes. So not only is Lamar County schools sheltering, Forest County schools are sheltering as well. So do not expect the kids to roll home soon. But as of right now, Lamar and Forest County kids are holding up at school until the threat passes. So they're going to be delayed this afternoon. So thank you so much for Michael for sending that in to me right now. And we're continuing to monitor this. We just got a new the sail just off towards the west has become tornadic as well. Of course, this is outside of our viewing area, but we're watching another sail. This will be out towards LBT's viewing area. Brookhaven under now a tornado warning, Boca Chica, and eventually this does clip the extreme southwestern part of Simpson County. So you're seeing it scroll on the bottom of your screen right now. But at this time, this is outside of our viewing area. And Michael has some new information for me as well. Lamar County schools say that students and staff are in the hallways away from the doors and windows. Also, the emergency management has told them that there's not a tornado on the ground, which is something that we have been saying as well. Thank you so much for that, Michael. But we are watching this threat pretty carefully. And again, we're still watching it. It's basically now over Purvis. So this is now over Lamar, pretty much near Lamar Christian School and near Purvis. So Baxterville, you're pretty much done with this, but it is now basically that rotation is near Purvis, and this is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east. And I think this rotation, as I look at it right now, this is going to go just to the east, and I mean just barely to the east of Oklahoma, but I think it's going to be right along or just east of Highway 11, and of course we'll continue to monitor that as well. It looks like there's also a little bit more rotation maybe trying to form out towards the Dixie community. Officially nothing with this with the Weather Service. It is still, in the original tornado warning, so it's covered. But maybe that southern sail is beginning to weaken, and we may be seeing a little bit more intensification, maybe up towards the central part of the sail, which is over Forest County. Again, it's one of those. If you're comparing apples and oranges, both rotations are still kind of weak at this time, but the evolution of this storm system continues off towards the north and towards the east. Yes. Okay, and I just got this in from coming in from our newsroom right now. But the shelters are now open in Lamar, Forest, and Jones County. So Forest County is of course 946 Sullivan Drive. That's out by the sheriff's office and the multi-purpose center on the south side of Hattiesburg. The Lamar County shelter at 105 Central Industrial Row in Purvis. So it's just about a mile or two up north of Purvis on Old 11, and then Jones County's is at the fairgrounds at 1425 Ellisville Boulevard in Laurel. And these are going to stay open until the tornado watch expires tonight. And again, that'll be around 8 o'clock unless the threat continues. But all of our safe rooms are now open to the public, again, in Forest County, Lamar County, and Jones County. So if you do not feel safe at your location, you got a place to go. They're opening them up right now. And I'll definitely tell you, if you're in Forest County, you got time to go ahead and head out there. I would say hold off for the Lamar County one because the rotation is basically now over Purvis. And now we're starting to see that rotation move up towards the north and east. But Jones County, you're good to go. So if you want to go to the Lamar County safe room, maybe wait about 10 minutes before you get in the car with that one. New data coming in from the Weather Service on Weather Service chat for the Forest County. Actually, the lead cell had a merger, and it is now increasing and we're seeing the rotation now quickly increasing on the northwest side of Camp Shelby, close to McCollum. And that was exactly what I was just talking about here a minute ago. Yeah, the rotation is definitely starting to pick up here. So it looks like the threat may be coming down for the Purvis area. As you'll notice, it's just not very bright and intensive. But when you look at the map, you see brighter colors and the darker greens. Well, you're starting to see it right here. And in fact, if to kind of give you a visual on this, so we got green, which is moving away from the radar, and red that is moving towards the radar. And there it is. So we're starting to see a little bit of rotation with this cell now on the, it is now in Forest County. So this would be on the south side. I'm thinking about areas around Dixie, Elks Lake Road, 98 and 49. So you know the cloverleaf there on the southeast side of town. Eventually that would be near the Hattiesburg Industrial Park and out towards Bobby Chain. And it looks like now the Weather Service has canceled that tornado warning for Lamar County. So they're no longer worried about that rotation, which is over Purvis. So if you want to go to the safe room in Lamar County, you're good to go. But Forest County, not so much. Michael has some new data coming in as well. I'm looking at this right now. This is Sacred Heart School. So Sacred Heart is closely monitoring the weather, and we are following safety protocols to keep student and staff safe. So students will remain on campus, and they will not dismiss until the threat has passed. So Lamar County, Forest County, and Sacred Heart are all holding students at the school until this threat has passed. Obviously, you don't want kids in buses in a tornado happening. You don't want kids, high school age kids driving in a tornado. So they're holding all the kids right now until this threat passes. But the official tornado warning has now been canceled for Lamar County. But again, we're starting to see a little bit of rotation now increasing. It looks like on the southeast side of Hattiesburg. So out towards the new velocity is starting to coming in from Chad Entermont from the Weather Service in Jackson. Great meteorologist, good friend of mine. The new velocity circulation is much better in Forest County. It also has a much well-defined flank on the side of it. So it is beginning to intensify a little bit out there towards Forest County right now. And again, this is now just a Forest County threat. And to give you an idea, Dixie, if you're out here near the interstate, you're okay. If you are in the city proper of Petal and city proper of Hattiesburg, you're okay. But down here on the southeast side, out towards Camp Shelby, if you're basically traveling 98 east of Hattiesburg and you're heading back to Mobile, this is where it is right now. And the rotation is actually crossing Highway 98 as we speak right now. Riley, have you seen anything new coming from Chad, or have you seen any kind of debris signatures with this new area of developing rotation?
No, so far I have been checking correlation coefficient, and right now at the moment I do not see anything that would tell me that anything is on the ground. But I do want to note that it is a pretty decent sized rotation right now. So if you're on Old Rifle Range Road, Myers Road, Riverview Drive, Old River Road, just stay in your shelter. I would say for the next 15 to 20 minutes. If you live out close near Indian Springs, this is going to be coming towards you. I'll put a track on here for you just so you can kind of tell, okay, Indian Springs, you got about, looks like 6 minutes. 4 points, you got 1 minute. So if you have not, go ahead and take shelter at this moment. Even though there might not be a tornado on the ground, the wind and the hail will cause damage, and it is a dangerous storm at this time. But as far as I can tell, Patrick, I'm not seeing anything on correlation coefficient that would say that there's a debris signature or anything. But the rotation is still pretty strong on this one at the moment. Okay.
So we're still watching this as of right now. But again, we are continuing to monitor the situation. It looks like we got a new tornado warning that is coming out. And this is going to be for, looks like Wayne County. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Michael has a new piece of information. I'm going to read it off to you right now. Hattiesburg is under their tornado precaution until 3 o'clock. So again, no kids are going to be coming out of Hattiesburg, out of Forest County, and Sacred Heart. I'm assuming now that the warning has been canceled for Lamar County that they're going to begin to roll their kids out. But again, this now goes downstream, so we're talking about areas around Richon now being under this new tornado warning in Wayne County. This will be the southwestern portion of Wayne County. Waynesboro itself is not included here, but areas out closer towards Mulberry Creek, towards Clara, and then down towards Richton and Runnelstown. So basically, think of the 42 corridor through Perry County is where this is currently highlighting, and then the rotation will go just to the north of the city of New Augusta, but it'll be close. So if you're out towards Leaf River Cellulose, which sits right about here, I think it's going to go just to your north, but you can actually begin to see the wrapping around inside of this supercell. So we're starting to see the hook on radar right now. If you look very carefully, there it is. If you notice back here, we have that appendage, that hooking on the back side of the storm. That's what we look for when it comes to these kind of situations. So we are looking, and yeah, the rotation it's really ramped up right now. You know what? In fact, there's nothing on the ground with this right now, but that rotation has quickly wrapped up within the last couple of minutes. So if you're out towards Old River Road, near Old Rifle Range Road, and we're talking about areas to the south of Carter, out towards Luther Carter Road, and really Indian Springs. So Indian Springs, of course, just a couple of years ago, you got your fire department out there, and this is where we're looking at this rotation really ramping up right now. So Myers Road, Old Rifle Range Road, Luther Carter Road, and eventually this will be heading out towards areas closer to Memorial Chapel or Memorial Church Road towards Indian Springs. We're going to be watching this very carefully right now. So we're continuing to watch this very carefully here, and everything continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. So we're still watching everything carefully, but the rotation really appears to be tightening up at the moment. There is a little bit of weak rotation behind this. Let me actually show you where that is right now on Southern Piezoelectric radar. This was the original area of rotation which started it all down here. It's now moved out of Lamar County. It's in the Forest County, but it is quickly beginning to fall apart. But this is now beginning to ramp up out here. So we're talking about this new area of rotation basically on the southeastern side of Hattiesburg. And unfortunately, the bad thing about this is that we're not going to be able to really see it that well. I'm going to put a path cast on this. So should this one hold together, here's your time of arrivals, and it's still moving off towards the northeast at 45, correct, Riley? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so 45 miles per hour. So Indian Springs pretty much here in about 3 to 5 minutes at 2:33, 2:41 at Runnelstown, McSwain at 2:44, the city of Richton 2:48. That's your time right there. Ovette, Mulberry, Hollis Creek, Pleasant Grove, approaching the 3 o'clock time frame, 3:15 towards Pleasant Grove. And should this hold together, I drew it all the way into Waynesboro on purpose so we can include that as well. Should this hold together, again, you are not under the warning right now, but 3:25 would be the arrival for you. So again, we're watching this area of rotation, and again, it's pretty intense out there this afternoon. It's way wrapped up more than I would think the other one has been, but you can definitely see where that rotational marker is. It's basically now on the other side of the river, and you can see the wind right now beginning to create that rotation now just to the south of Indian Springs. And I mentioned Leaf River Cellulose earlier. Well, here it is. So this black dot right here on screen is where that paper mill is. And this will go just to the north of you, but again, very close. If you live on 29 between New Augusta and Runnelstown, you need to be in your safe spot right now. So what are we talking about when we have that safe spot? You need to be in that interior most room. This is probably the most famous graphic I feel that we have in our repertoire is the safe place. How many times over the last 9 to 10 years since I've been here have we shown this on screen? But it's something so key and so critical. It's the reason why we haven't replaced it with something else, because it just works so well. It gives the good example of that interior most room. And in most places, it's going to be an interior, maybe a half bath or a whole bath. It's going to most likely be a bathroom somewhere in the center of your house. But if you don't have that interior most room that you can close the door in and get away from all the exterior walls, it'll be one of those long hallways that feeds maybe off in the living room and goes off into the bedrooms on the end. So what you're going to do in that case, get on that far end away from the open end, close those doors, and protect your head. Get the old brain bucket. I've talked about it for years. Have that helmet ready to go. If you don't have a helmet, and we're not talking about having some sort of nuclear fallout helmet or something, beefy like a motorcycle helmet. Just something as simple as a bicycle helmet will help you out. But if you don't have it, a cooking pot, put it over your head, just something to protect your head. Make sure you take your cell phone with you. Of course, you can watch us. We are streaming right now on WDAM.com, the WDAM 7 Plus app on Roku, Fire TV, and on Apple TV. We're also streaming on the WDAM 7 First Alert Weather app, and you can watch us in so many places now. And the last thing you should really have some shoes. Just have some good shoes with soles on them, because God forbid if there is a tornado and it hits your house, you don't want to have to crawl out over nails and to get out of that debris. So it's something very critical to have right there. But we're still watching that rotation. Riley, have you seen anything new within the last couple of minutes?
Within the last couple of minutes, no. Basically, you have to remember that Perry County and Wayne County are part of Mobile National Weather Service's area. So I've been kind of having to go back and forth between Jackson and Mobile just a tad. But right now, nothing new at the moment. This center of rotation is moving about 45 miles per hour still. So if you are anywhere between Indian Springs, if you're near anywhere between Runnelstown and New Augusta, Dad, I don't know if you are at Leaf River Cellulose today, but if you are, go ahead. Don't move. Just go ahead and take cover if you are over there. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get some roads in here just so we can tell you. So if you're anywhere near Dixon Road, Freeman Road, I think that is Bibford, Gills Road, Memorial Church Road, Prospect Road, just go ahead. If you live anywhere near these roads, go ahead, take shelter immediately at this time. I'm also going to check on this back here on this little rotation that we've had earlier, and it's still not as impressive as this one that's now kind of crossing over into Perry County at the moment. It's still not as impressive. I'm going to check correlation coefficient now, and I just don't see anything on radar that's showing that there would be a tornado on the ground at this moment, Patrick. Do you have anything that's been updated recently at all?
Let's see. I'm looking right now to see if there's anything new. I just saw something flash across chat, but I think it's coming out of the Mobile area at this moment. So I'm looking over there in their chat, and they are issuing a new tornado warning, or they are updating a tornado warning. So this is going to be an update with this storm. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles south of Sunrise, or 7 miles southeast of the city of Petal, and it's still moving off towards the north and east at 45 miles per hour. And again, the Weather Service right now continuing to highlight the area around Old Rifle Range Road as the area that is of most concern. And of course, that's where we've been talking about. And truly, the radar is it's getting close to becoming maxed out with this rotation. This rotation is definitely very strong right now. Once you start to see the orange and yellow starting to come in, we're starting to see winds coming into this storm getting close to about 60 to 70 miles per hour. So we're starting to get some good inflow inside this storm. So the rotation is truly there. and it's right now on the Forest Perry County line. So where these two red lines are, that is the county line, and this is beginning to move to the north and east. So basically between Runnelstown and New Augusta on 29, nobody should be on that road. You should not be driving right now. But again, this is crossing into Perry County. So Forest County towards Camp Shelby itself, the city of Hattiesburg, Petal, you're fine. But the area that is really ramping up is over here into Mobile's WFO's jurisdiction as this continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. So we're still seeing that area of rotation. And in fact, they just issued an update with it. And as you saw, that polygon move. So let me pull that up. So here's what I got right now with everything at the moment. So here's what they're saying. At 2:32, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles southeast of Macedonia or 9 miles west of Richon, and they're still keeping it moving northeast at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. So I'm going to put in a path cast. Just wanted to give you guys an update. It's right now on top of 29. It's basically halfway between New Augusta and Runnelstown on 29. So this will be coming out towards McSwain at 2:43, Richon at 2:47. So I got a good friend who lives out there, Anna Kate. You need to be getting ready. This will be out here at your area in about 15 minutes. East side, 2:49, Mulberry at 3 o'clock, and Hollis Creek at 3:05. So this is where we're watching. And again, that rotation is right on 29. It's crossing State Road 29 right now. And I want to go back in. I want to go into Street View to kind of give you an idea of where this is on 29. So I'm waiting on some cities to pop up. There we go. Or some road names, excuse me. So we're talking about near Bramlett Drive, Prospect Road, Dixon Road, Free Will Church Road, Henry James Road. So it is right now basically at the intersection of Prospect Road and Highway 29. And this will be moving across Dixon Road within the next minute or so. Again, the rotation is pretty tight right now with this cell as it continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. This is some very intense rotation that I'm noting with this storm at the moment, and we're continuing to monitor it as it moves off towards the north and towards the east. And in fact, one thing I'm about to do, I'm loading it up on Analyst, our other radar product tool that we have here, and I want to kind of give you an idea of what we are tracking here with this storm. So again, zooming in here right now, I'm loading up everything from the Mobile Weather Radar site, and I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what we're seeing on the other side with this right now. And Riley, if they say anything on Weather Service chat, just be sure to let me know, because
Yes,
I'm not paying attention to it right now as I'm driving the radar, but you can kind of see what we're talking about here. So we're talking areas out between Richon and New Augusta right now. It is right now on top of Highway 29. As I put this into velocity mode right now, you'll definitely see that very tight rotation with this, and it is now just to the east of Indian Springs. This will be crossing Highway 42 here probably within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And as it does so, it'll continue to move up towards the north and east. But let's take a look at the rotation product that we have with this right now. And the one thing that we're still watching with it, very tight rotation at this time. So let me click over here to rotation. And as you can see, we're definitely getting into that stronger rotation. This is a good way of looking at it because it takes away all the other clutter that we normally show you. And it just makes it into a small, easy to understand area that we're tracking. And again, we are watching this rotation really beginning to ramp up. And it's really done so over the last couple of minutes. Basically, once it left Forest County, it's really began to tighten up. It's crossing over the highway right now, and it is still moving off towards the north and towards the east this afternoon. But very tight rotation with this. This is not too far away from Richon. So to give you an idea, here's where the city of Richon is, here's where the rotation is, and here's Runnelstown. So you have that little triangle there. This will be crossing Highway 42 probably within the next 5 minutes between Runnelstown and Richon. So nobody should, if you're in Richon right now, you should not be traveling west. And same thing, vice versa for Runnelstown. You should not be traveling east as well. So we are still watching this at the moment as this continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. But that rotation is definitely starting to look a lot tighter at this time as everything continues to move across the area. Yes. Okay, so they are delaying dismissal times for Perry County schools. So that is some good to hear. So we got a lot of parents who are probably worried about what's happening out in Perry County schools. Does that include the city of Richon as well, Michael? Just let me know in my ear. Okay, so this is just Perry County schools. So for Perry County schools, they are holding your kids. So basically, Runnelstown and Perry Central and everything around New Augusta, they are holding the kids at this time. Looking at debris signatures right now, I'm not seeing anything on the debris detector at the moment. But again, that rotation remains very tight with this storm. And to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of how far this is, we're only talking about 5 to 6 miles away from crossing Highway 42, and it looks like it's going to cross 42 very close to the Buck Creek Road area. So almost perfectly between Runnelstown and Richon, that is where this rotation is. And again, this is the only area of rotation that we are watching right now. In fact, I wanted to give you a wider look. This is the only storm that we are tracking in our viewing area. There is, of course, another tornado warning off towards the west, towards Brookhaven, but that is outside of our viewing area, and our sister station WLBT is covering that one. So the only thing that we have is this one storm, and it is now out of Forest County. The Forest County, you are in the clear, but this is now a northwestern Perry County issue, and eventually this will be, if it holds together, will be moving into Wayne County, and it is continuing to move up towards the north and towards the east at about 45. But as I flip this over to the regular radar view that you are normally used to seeing, a lot of thunderstorm activity this afternoon on Southern Pine Electric. The atmosphere has rapidly become destabilized, and we're continuing to track these storms off towards the north and east right now. More thunderstorms firing up out towards Marion County, Lamar County, and through Forest County and even into Jones County, but none of that is severe at this time. The only thing that is severe is this one cell out here into northwestern Perry County, and the rotation with it is still pretty decently strong as of right now. So we're continuing to see that continue off towards the north and east. The Weather Service did put out the update, but I have not seen anything new coming out from the Weather Service in Mobile over the last, I would say, the last 3 to 5 minutes. So we'll just have to treat that as one of those no news is good news situations. But again, the rotation with this is definitely real. It is the real deal kind of rotation. And again, we're getting out towards Buck Creek Road and Hickory Grove Church Road, and it's not very hard to see where that rotation currently is at the moment. And again, that'll be crossing Highway 42, probably about a mile or two east of Buck Creek Road. And so it'll be a little bit closer to the Richon side of things, but definitely you do not want to be outside driving along Highway 42 at this time, because this is going to be crossing pretty carefully. I'm good right now, Zach. Thank you, though. But as this moves northeast, we're still worried about Richon. But again, Perry County schools are holding the kids. So if you are worried about your kids being on the bus, I know there are a lot of moms and dads out in Perry County who are worried. Perry County School District is holding your kids at the school. They are not releasing the kids at this time. Okay, and we just got word that Richon schools, the city of Richon schools, are doing the same thing. So Richon and Perry County schools are holding your kids at the school. They are in their tornado safety plans right now. They are enacting those plans. The kids are in a safe place, and they are not on the road. So if you are waiting for your kids, they are going to be delayed, but that is okay. They are being held at a safe place right now. And again, this is okay, and Forest County schools are beginning to release right now. So what is happening is that the warning was canceled for Forest County probably about 10-15 minutes ago. So they are done holding the kids. The buses are now beginning to leave the bus barn, and they're arriving at the schools. So the kids will be dismissed as the buses arrive. So Forest County is now dismissing kids and allowing them to go home, but it's because there's no threat of any danger in Forest County anymore. But Perry County and the city of Richton are holding their kids. That is the right decision to do right now. It's better to hold them at the school than to have them driving out or on buses out there where they could possibly be hit by a potential tornado. And I'm still using the word potential because we don't have any debris signatures with this at the moment, but it's rain wrapped. If you're going outside to look at it, you're not going to see it. It is just wrapped up in rain. And to give you an idea of where it is, right here. So rain wrapped, you're not going to see it. You're most likely not going to hear it unless it hits you. So again, nothing official on the ground, but you're not going to hear it. You're not going to see it. It's completely rain wrapped. It's in the part of the heavy rain inside this thunderstorm, and the rotation with it is still pretty decent. It's definitely nothing to sneeze at right now. But again, that rotation getting closer now. It's crossing Buck Creek Road right now, and it's going to be getting out towards areas. I wanted to zoom in just a little bit more to get some of those street levels to pop up, but they're not wanting to, and that's okay because I can force it to pop up here. So we're talking about areas out towards Clay Hill Road, out towards Gracie, Hinton Road, Wendell Road, Clay Hill Road again, and Leonard Clark Road. So that's where we're starting to see that rotation, and as you'll notice, we just got a new scan in. So it's basically right near Gracie, Hinton Road. And still moving off towards the north and towards the east this afternoon. So we got some very strong rotation with this storm at this time as everything moves off towards the north and towards the east. But the other stuff not looking as impressive, and again, nothing showing up rotational wise with any of these other cells throughout the viewing area. The only other tornado warning is out towards Brookhaven, and as you can see, you can clearly see where that rotation is. So the storms that are rotating are being very obvious. There's nothing really kind of halfway about them. They are definitely visible this afternoon. And we'll actually go into the last hour or so. I want to give you a radar tour of this, but I got to turn off the lightning first. There's just so much lightning. We're seeing the explosive development of thunderstorms this afternoon as the atmosphere continues to destabilize. Remember me yesterday talking about there were some issues with the threat could have been conditional, and it looks like we're meeting all those conditions. So the threat is being realized. Only one official tornado warning for our viewing area, and that is for Perry County and southwestern Wayne County until 3:15. There's another tornado warning out towards Brookhaven, which clips the extreme southwestern portion of Simpson County, but it does not include Mendenhall or McGee, so you're okay there. So this storm is moving up towards the north and east. The only one that we're worried about right now is this one, and the Weather Service has just kind of cleaned up that polygon right now. So and it's still flashing red, so that means that we still don't have anything on the ground officially from the Weather Service. So let me kind of read that read that on air for what we're seeing. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Richton, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So they're saying that this cell is beginning to slow down this afternoon. But again, the rotation with this is, it's still there. It's Riley, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to get a little bit more concerned about that. That's really wrapping up.
No, I agree with you. That's tightening up pretty good.
That's really tightening up quickly. So let's do this. If you're on the west side of Richton along 42, or maybe you're north of Richton on 15, if you are not in your safe place, let's just go ahead and get you into your safe place. You need to act like there's a tornado on the ground. Officially, there is not, but that rotation is really it's really tightened up over the last 3 to 5 minutes, and it may not take a lot to cause that to touch down. And even the Weather Service is saying that as well. Strong rotation noted near the Richton, just to the west of the Richton area. We'll be at Richton in 3 to 5 minutes. If you are in the vicinity of Richton, seek shelter and into areas of northeastern Perry County as well. So again, the rotation has just really ramped up over the last 3 to 5 minutes as we're watching it. And as I flip over to our other product on Analyst Doppler, you can definitely still see that very tight rotation that is currently noted with this storm. And in fact, yeah, very tight here. So I'm gonna flip over to rotational product, the wind shear, very tight rotation noted. And again, this is just on the west side of Richton. So here's where Richton is. Here's where this area of concern is. And again, if this touches down, it's just going to be just outside of the city limits of Richton in the gridded neighborhood area. So you kind of know what I'm talking about here as you get ready to travel back out 42. It starts getting less city and more trees in rural areas, but that's exactly where we're seeing it right now. And again, that'll be crossing 15 here probably within the next 3 to 5 minutes as well. So 15 north of Richton and 42 west of Richton, you need to be off of it right now because the storm is getting ready to cross. It's getting ready to cross 42 at Clay Hill Road. And as I continue to look at things right now, I'm still not seeing any signs of a debris signature at this time. That's good. Let's hope it stays that way. But the rotation has certainly ramped up over the last little bit here, and it's definitely starting to look more credible at this time as it moves up towards the north and towards the east. So we're going to continue to monitor that as well. I'm looking to see if there's anything new coming out of the Weather Service chat, and I'm not seeing anything just yet coming out of the Weather Service chat. But again, that rotation is very tight, and it's right there at Clay Hill Road and 42. That's where we're tracking it right now. So areas around Nicholson Road, Whitfield Road, and eventually Mitch Kitchell Road, you need to be in that safe spot. Loop Road, and eventually over here towards 15 as well. So the city of Richton, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Kids are being held at Richton schools. They are not being allowed to leave, so don't worry about that, parents. They are staying put at this time as this continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. But again, the Richton area, okay, and we just got this in. Wayne County is now beginning to hold students as well. And of course, that makes sense. Clara, of course, there's Clara School out here. I think there's another school out to the southwestern part. Officially, Wayne County, the city of Waynesboro, where Wayne Academy and Wayne County High School and all that is, not under the tornado warning, but eventually, you know, we're getting at that time of dismissal, and eventually the Weather Service is going to have to make a decision. Most likely, if this continues status quo, they will issue a new tornado warning that will include Wayne County. At this time, unless this system just rapidly weekends over the next 3 to 5 minutes, I cannot see a scenario where that does not happen. So eventually, Clara, Robinson Junction, Buckatana, and the city of Waynesboro, you most likely are going to have a tornado warning issued for you. The time has not come for the Weather Service to do that just yet. But it's most likely coming down the line eventually. And so that'll most likely be a decision they'll make getting closer to 3 o'clock. So they have 10 minutes to kind of play with this storm to watch what it's going to do. But again, that rotation, very, very tight here on the Richton. And in fact, it's right now on the west side of Richton. So we are seeing the worst weather where this rotation is at Richton. It is now on the west side of town near East McCormick Drive, Loop Road, and it is now on the west side of Richton. The rotation is still very broad at this time. It tightened up a little bit, but it kind of broadened out over the last 3 to 5 minutes, but it's still very credible. It's definitely very easy to see. It's not one of those where you're just like, where is it? It's standing out. It's very apparent. To me, a meteorologist, and most likely to you at home too, because you know where you see the bright greens and the bright reds touching, that's where you have the rotation, and that's truly what we're seeing right now on the west side of Richton. But again, I'm not seeing any signs of debris showing up with this, which is good news. We want it to stay that way. But again, the city of Richton, you have to be in your safe spot right now because we do have this one tornado warning cell at the moment as it continues to move up towards the north and towards the east. I'm seeing some data coming in from the west side of the viewing area. This is outside of our viewing area. There's possibly a tornado near Brookhaven. Again, that's outside of our viewing area, but it is an idea of how the environment is right now. So there's the possibility that there is a tornado on the ground. They're starting to get some calls about this out towards Brookhaven. So if you know someone out there to the north and east of Brookhaven, closer to Wesson, you may want to give them a call, heads up. But again, that is outside of our viewing area. And then, of course, there is another tornado warning way out here in western Mississippi, out closer towards Fayette and Port Gibson. Let's see. I'm looking to see right now. I think that's going to be outside. New tornado warning for East Jefferson County, not Jefferson Davis. That's something you always got to look at when you're a meteorologist to make sure. Does it say Jefferson or Jefferson Davis? So there is outside of our viewing area. But again, the rotation, Riley, wrapped up really tight. But the last scan or two, it's definitely not looking as healthy. To me.
It really has. From what I've been seeing, I haven't seen a debris signature pop up at all, number one. Number two, this is not as impressive as it was just a few minutes ago, which is good. That's what we want. But the only thing that you're going to have to deal with, I'm just going to say potential tornado on the ground because we still do not have anything on the ground, is you still have to deal with damaging wind gusts. You still have to deal with the hail on the back side of it. And if you're ahead of this as well, you're still going to have to deal with that. But so far right now, the last few scans, it's really, really kind of gone down, which is what we want. But I'm going to kind of switch this over to a new radar, and let's see if we can get some roads in here. Ooh, there we go. Okay, let's see. So a few roads that we're going to look at. Let's see. We're going to look at Loop Road. Go ahead and get in your tornado shelter. Carolyn, McCardle Road, Tubby Cooper Loop, Whitfield Road. If you live anywhere near those areas, just stay in your shelter for right now for the time being. Again, it's kind of weakened, but it's still a sign of a good, decent rotation at the moment. Again, I don't see any debris signature on the ground at the moment. I think they're still going 35 on this, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing as of last was they're moving this northeast at 35. And truly, yeah, if you look at it, if we come back over to to Max 1, thank you, control room, you'll notice that we were looking at a very tight area earlier, but now notice it is starting to become a little bit broader here. So maybe the rotation is about a mile or two wide as compared to that very tight rotation. It's still very viable. It's still a very viable rotation, and the Weather Service is going to have to figure out, is this a cyclical nature? Is it cycling in its life cycle, or is it beginning to weaken? Because there are other thunderstorms that are very close to this cell, and this is not necessarily the healthiest environment when you have competing thunderstorms running into that hook. So this may be good news that this may be beginning to weaken some, but again, we want to see that trend over maybe about 5 or 10 more minutes, but it's something that we're monitoring at this time. Again, more thunderstorms are firing up out near Oklahoma this afternoon, out towards Purvis. None of those are severe. None of those are severe out towards Summerall or towards Olo, and the city of Hattiesburg is fine as well. But again, this continues to move up towards the north and east at about 35 to 45 miles per hour, and things are quickly, destabilizing across the region. In fact, let's just turn on the warnings right now. And as you can see, we got a couple of warnings. We got the one tornado warning for portions of Perry County and towards extreme southwestern Wayne County. We got the other tornado warning out towards Brookhaven, another one just to the east of Port Gibson, and a couple of more severe thunderstorm warnings just off towards the west, closer towards Natchez and down towards the Woodville community there in that southwesternmost county of Mississippi. But outside of these warnings, we are not seeing anything else. All the other storms that we're currently tracking on the radar are non-severe at this time. It does not mean they will stay that way, but as of now, they are not severe. So we're going to continue to monitor this. We'll continue to watch these other cells, but at this time, the only cell that is tornadic in our viewing area is the one directly over Richon right now, and it is continuing to move off towards the north and towards the east. And I think if there is some good news is that cell looks like it is beginning to weaken some as of now, and that may be good news, but
again, I want to see this a continuing trend and not something that is just temporary. And that's what the Weather Service is going to hold this tornado warning. Most likely, they're going to hold this until 3:15 and let the storm have about another, 17, 18 minutes of run time with this. They already got the warning out. And again, things can change, but this may be a good trend that we're seeing right now with this cell as it continues to move off towards the north and towards the east. But Richton, you need to remain in your safe spot. And again, Richton is the only place in Perry County that is under this warning. So if you're in New Augusta, out towards Leaf River Cellulose, Hintonville, Beaumont, McLean, Reynoldstown, you're fine. You're fine with this. It's just Richton that we're worried about here. And again, this will be eventually crossing into Wayne County here within the next 5 to 10 minutes. And but at this rate, if this continues, this is going to be a situation where we are looking at much better because about 15 minutes ago, this was almost imminently about to produce a tornado. Here it was at 2:45. It was very tight rotation, and you advance it forward to now, and you don't see that very tight coupling anymore. The coupling is very broad, and broad rotation means a weaker storm because it has to be tight rotation to produce a tornado. And when you have a rotation that's spanning about 3 to 4 miles in a circle, it's a weaker scenario, and that's exactly what we want to see. But again, this storm is competing with real estate, with other storms. So this storm is starting to get choked off now as it's kind of formed a little bit of a line signature. And for a supercell, you would want that storm to be by itself with nothing to the south. And that way it would have unimpeded energy flowing straight into it. And when you have competing storms, you're not necessarily getting that. It's kind of like dogs when you have, they're going to scarf everything down if there are other dogs around it because they're competing for it. Whereas if you just have one dog, they're going to take their time eating the food out of the bowl instead of inhaling it like a vacuum. If you're a dog owner, you get that reference. So again, Richton and moving northeast. This will be eventually coming up towards Wayne County here. And I'm looking to see if there's anything new. I'm seeing stuff coming out of the Brookhaven area towards Lincoln County with no reports of damage at this time, but I'm not seeing anything new coming out of the Weather Service out of Mobile. So again, this is going to be a situation where no news is good news, and hopefully it stays that way for now. And again, the only warning that we have in our viewing area is Perry County. It is the only warning: severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, flash flood warning. It's the only warning that we're watching is out here towards Perry County. But as you can see, the atmosphere has really exploded this afternoon. We got strong storms to our west out into western Mississippi. And even out into Louisiana as well. You can see a lot of lightning here. Basically, the lightning is a good identity for these strong storms, where you see a lot of lightning, which is white on our map. And if you see so much that it's actually covering up the thunderstorm, you know that's a very strong storm that we are continuing to watch as of this time. But again, for the city of Hattiesburg, and you're just fine. Heavy rain in Purvis, but outside of that, nothing else is showing up at this time. So we're going to continue to monitor this very carefully here at this time as things continue to move up towards the north and towards the east here at about 35 miles per hour. So that area of rotation is slowly beginning to weaken. And in fact, the Weather Service in Mobile has now canceled that tornado warning. So that is good news right there. So they have now canceled that tornado warning, and right now there are no other warnings in our viewing area. So that is some good news. But before we return you back to regular programming, I just want to take you on a radar tour of what we're seeing. We are tracking several thunderstorms, one of them out towards Hattiesburg, towards Purvis, some more out towards Washington parishes and into the parishes of Louisiana, and then there's another cluster of storms out in western Mississippi as well. And all of this is going to be coming our way later this afternoon. Just because we are seeing this one warning expire does not mean our threat is over. The tornado watch is in effect for the entire viewing area until 8 o'clock tonight. So basically between now and about 8 o'clock, our atmosphere is primed for the potential for tornadoes. So you just need to stay weather aware as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon. And again, if there are other warnings, we'll be sure to break into coverage, and you can watch us on WDAM 7 Plus, the WDAM 7 News, and the First Alert Weather app. And you can watch us on Facebook Live. We're going to be making sure we're in all areas so you can find us when you need us the most. But right now, because this warning has expired, what we're going to do now is return you to regular programming. But should there be another warning that is issued, we will be here. We're going to jump back on the air, and we'll make sure you are informed. So for right now, for meteorologist Riley Bridges and myself, we thank you for tuning in, and we're going to return you back over to regular programming already in progress.